Hello everyone. Thank you for watching my video and subscribing to the Wellness Center's YouTube channel. I wanted to try to contribute to the channel in a way that would be beneficial, and I thought that using some of my knowledge of anatomy and physical therapy could help with maintaining some of the aches and pains that we all manage, and in addition to, of course, doing some of the awesome videos that we have posted on this channel. I want to try to focus on postural control and alignment and ergonomics. This one is going to be more on sleeping ergonomics because I'm going to focus more on managing low back pain for this one. The standing ergonomics that I'll talk about another time also has a lot of implications for low back pain, but I'm going to focus on the sleeping ergonomics for this one. Maintaining good alignment in any of our positions that we use in our daily lives. So standing, walking, sitting, sleeping, maintaining a good neutral position and trying to have our bodies be essentially symmetrical from right to left as best as we can helps us to maintain a good, basically equal muscle length from our right to left side, which definitely affects our mechanics of our gait and how we walk, but also has implications for being able to perform yoga poses in the same way and get as deep of a stretch on the right and the left side. For managing low back pain in terms of sleeping ergonomics, I would always recommend sleeping on your side. Sleeping on your stomach is awful. Pretty please with sugar on top. Stop doing it. It not only does sleeping on your stomach make your pelvis tilt into a more like anteriorly rotated position, which puts your low back into a more curved position, and therefore putting more pressure on the nerves, causing more back pain, more radiating pain down into your legs. It's also impossible to have a good neutral position for your neck and your shoulders when you're laying on your stomach, because unless you want to suffocate yourself, you have to turn your head to the right or the left, which is going to cause some neck pain and shoulder pain. If you are unable to sleep on your side, you've tried it, hasn't worked, sleeping on your back is okay. I would definitely recommend putting a couple of pillows underneath your knees to try to help tilt your pelvis back into a more like posteriorly rotated position, which makes your low back more flat, taking pressure off of the nerves and also giving a slight stretch to the muscles in your lower back. But again, ideally you would sleep on your side. Unless you have unless you have left shoulder or left hip pain, I would always recommend to sleep on your left side because that helps with digestion. A lot of people who sleep on their side in attempts to manage low back pain or even shoulder pain, neck pain, are trying, but it's not quite right. So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is the way that they position the pillow that goes in between their legs. So the ideal position in terms of the pillow that goes in between your legs, most people make the common mistake of having a pillow that supports just in between your knees but not in between your ankles. And the problem with that is if your knees are being held about hips distance apart from the pillow but you're allowing your feet to fall together, that turns my hip into an externally rotated position, and that puts more pressure on your sciatic nerve because that's the nerve that goes straight through your piriformis muscle, which is an external rotator in your hip. So if you're allowing yourself to sleep in that position for hours on end, you're actually putting more pressure on your sciatic nerve, causing more back pain, more radiating pain down your leg. So the most important part about the pillow that goes in between your leg is making sure that it not only supports your knees, but that it also supports your ankles. And you're trying to essentially maintain an even distance between your hips, your knees, and your ankles. The other thing that helps a lot with maintaining the alignment when you are sleeping on your side is the pillows that you use for the upper portion of your body, because if you're doing those things to maintain a good neutral pelvic position, um, if you're doing those things to help maintain a good neutral pelvic position, but you're not maintaining a good position with your upper body, you're still allowing a rotation in your spine and causing things up the chain to be uneven in some way. So some of the best things to do in terms of managing some shoulder and neck pain, of course, he picks the loudest toy, the loudest one. Shoot. I swear I tried to play with him beforehand so this wouldn't happen. You want to have a small-ish pillow underneath your ribs on the side that you're sleeping on. At least for me, I know that because my shoulders are kind of broad, if I only have a pillow underneath my head, then the bottom shoulder is going to wind up getting all scrunched. And then when you do that, you're causing a lot of pressure on some nerves that go into your neck and down your arm, and that causes a lot of problems. And also, like I said, this isn't being held in a good neutral position, so you're kind of negating the work that you're doing in holding a good neutral position in your pelvis. So if you have a small pillow that you can put underneath your ribs to help lift you up a little bit, and then you have another pillow that goes underneath your head, you have a little bit of a gap here for your shoulder to go into. So when you lay down, you're able to put your arm in between those two and then support your head, and your shoulders are being held in a more neutral position because of that small pillow in between or underneath your ribs. And the pillow that I was going to put in between my legs that I was talking about before has been commandeered by my dog. So you should also have a pillow that goes in between your legs from your knees down to your ankles to help maintain a good neutral position. And a lot of people will say, well, sure, I'll try that, I'll stay there, and then I'll wake up and the pillows are on the floor. Being in that good neutral position for 2-3 hours, however long you stay there, is a whole lot better for you than just not trying at all. And if you wake up and the pillows are on the floor, just put them back and then try to go back to sleep. In terms of some simple yoga poses that could help to manage low back pain, I don't want to go too far into it because I know that you all know a lot of different things that you can do for those, and I'm trying to focus a little bit more on the ergonomics with these things. But simple kind of rotational stretches, poses can be really, really helpful. Of course, a stretch to the piriformis muscle is great. So those are any variations of a pigeon pose, which one of the ones that you can do easily in bed is more of a supine version of that one. So you laying on your back and crossing your ankle across the other knee. And then you can either stay there if that's a deep enough stretch, or if you want to thread the needle and reach one hand through and then one hand on the outside and try to pull that leg in closer to you, maintaining your toes pulling up towards your knees to help protect your knees. You should get a good deep stretch in the back of that hip. And this is a good way to see if one hip is tighter than the other, which might kind of shine some light on ways that you might be not holding yourself in a good neutral position in your daily activities of just standing, walking, sitting. So you can do this one. That's a great stretch to take some pressure off of your sciatic nerve. You can do some simple kind of windshield wipers. So having your feet as wide as the mat, maybe pinky toes just off of the mat, and then letting your knees fall off to one side and then coming back up and then off to the other side. Trying to move with your breath as always. Inhale as you rise, exhale as you fall. Those are excellent stretches for that. Some wind relieving pose, or in physical therapy we would call it more a single knee to chest or a double knee to chest, but having one leg out straight and pulling the other knee in close, again keeping your toes engaged up towards your knees to protect your knees, and bringing it out to the side to give your rib cage room to expand as you breathe in, and then trying to hug it in a little bit tighter as you exhale. And of course you always want things to be even, so I'll show you on the other side also. And then the double knee to chest version of that one that I referenced just a second ago, that one you can keep your feet relaxed, and you want to try to reach all the way to get a hold of your elbows for whatever reason in my body that's a little bit hard, and I like this pose to be a little bit more just relaxed. So I actually just hook my hands and have my knees rest more in the hooks of my elbows. And this one you want to try to think about really pressing your spine into the mat all the way to your tailbone and up to your head. So you don't want to be lifting your tailbone up off of the ground. You want to try to have that be down flat. Tuck your chin in, trying to make a big old double or triple chin, but I'm sure nobody will be looking at you, so it's fine. Those are all good simple stretches that you can do in bed to loosen up some of the muscles in your lower back and help take some of the pressure off of your nerves. And the sleeping on your side is honestly best for not only managing low back pain but also shoulder and neck pain. I will be getting more into the proper ergonomics for standing and sitting, which also have implications for low back pain, but those ones will be associated more with managing upper back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain. But it all kind of goes together. Paying attention to and managing your postural control and alignment is one of the most effective things that you can do in terms of managing pain and managing any lack of postural control or lack of alignment. And that has a lot of implications in terms of being able to do balance poses just as easy on one side as the other. I could get on a PT soapbox for a couple of hours, but I'm trying to keep these a little bit short and sweet because I know that most of the people that come to this channel are looking for just strictly yoga. But again, I was trying to contribute in my own way and in a way that I felt like would be beneficial. So if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to contact me or the Wellness Center, and they'll tell you how to get in a hold of me, or if they have comments on this video, then you could post a comment and I would reply. But I hope that in some way this helps you. And if you didn't, then hopefully my dog being ridiculous and distracting was at least amusing in some way. Yeah. Thank you all for just being awesome people, and keep it up. I hope you have a great day. Bye.